Hey Landon, Brent Porcia at TopVelocity.net. We're going to pair you up here with Stephen Lacey. This pitch is at 96, so coming out of leg lift, you guys are going to look fairly similar. The only thing is you can see your lift leg is starting to get a little bit ahead. You can see with Stephen here, it's not really trying to peak or pull away as much as with you. You can see a little bit more of an earlier movement forward. And then from here, which is a key indication of what's going on, is look at Stephen's elbows. They're up, they're starting to pinch, specifically throwing arms starting to scap load. We're not seeing that with you. We're seeing yours getting extended. Going into flexion like that is, loading the scaps, and that's preparing for the counter movement, meaning these hips, when he goes to drive, his hip's going to push around hard. So he wants to be in a position with his upper body to counter that. And the levers of the elbows pinching against it or scap loading against it, specifically the throwing arm, is what is going to allow him to really optimize hip to shoulder separation. So watch the back leg. Let's follow his back leg to your back leg. Let's take it one step at a time. Look at his knee turn down pretty aggressively. He starts extending, it starts turning down. You can see you're extending, but the knee's not turning down. So that means the hips aren't going to rotate well. And why is that happening? Look how much farther your lift leg is out at this point than his. He's still got a bend in his knee. His foot looks like it's even ready to go down. So what you're seeing is more aggressive rotation extension than you're seeing the lift leg not moving forward with that. It's really even pulling around. You see how it pulls around? So he's got rotation. He's powering rotation. You're continuing to move forward, but there's no rotation. And then you can see your glove here starts to tuck hard because that's where you're going to create your rotation. You look at his glove. His glove's just still scap loading. Okay, so the difference of you just continuing to push forward and him powering rotation. And that's really the key here. It's the optimization of rotation and drive. And you can see the trunk stays back as well. Even though your trunk stays back, you just don't have the hip rotation he has. So you don't have the power into landing like him. You don't have the power through hip rotation. And those are all critical for pushing those forces up the body. So then you see his trunk explode out and move forward. You see your trunk more slowly come around as your head leans off to try to help it. And you know your trunk's moving slower, but when your arm doesn't fully lay back, your elbow goes up and it's not in a full lay back. You can see the elbow is more than likely out here in front of your face. His elbow's back. So there's a lot more, that means there's a lot more acceleration to the trunk where the arm is countering better. And then the release. Okay, so big important difference here is power and rotation. So we've got to get the knee to turn down like you see with him as you drive, and we've got to get the pelvis to open, and then we've got to get the scaps, the throwing arm specifically, to pinch and load the scap against that, and then you optimize the delay and separation.